Now, I wanted to bring up some of the things that were said earlier, like Zuckerberg. Zuck was one of the things that was brought up. Zuckerberg going out on Joe Rogan and talking about, basically how the past 4 years, the Biden administration, like, forced the suppression of true information, and Elon should buy Reddit. Apparently, Elon's going to be buying TikTok. Also, ban the internet for kids. They are watching things they shouldn't. I disagree with that wholeheartedly. I don't want the government to tell me what I can and can't watch, what I can and can't read. You know how 1984 dystopian that is? Instead, this is not the easy thing, but it is the right thing, and it oftentimes is the hard thing. We raise the civic sense of our community. We raise the standard, and we hold each other to a higher accountable. So that way, when we see these girls who are half dressed and doing the ooey wooey and giving out like traps, we're not going to fall headfirst into that trap, right? We're going to develop strong men and women who aren't going to fall for those thirst traps. Zuckerberg had a truffle with an Indian government yesterday. Zuck also said that Modi lost the last elections. I did not see any of that. What? I will let the kids play games on the internet, but not social media? There's no difference if you really think about it. Call of Duty and all of these things, it's just a way to be social. I will let kids play games on the internet, but not social media. And I think that's just it's too egotistical way of thinking to think that you have that much control. Because you don't. Facebook's owner is a joke. Zuckerberg, I don't know how I feel about Zuck right now. To be honest, I don't even know how I feel about him. Because I'm like, okay, if you own a corporation and the government is knocking on your door saying, hey, you got to suppress this, you have to have some really big cojones to say, no, fuck you. Because that government can take you out without even you even knowing, right? So it's like, now that the government is transitioning, the moment he's bringing to light all the different things that are done. I don't know. Bro, what is Zuck on to? What do you mean? Like, I don't know. Like, I understand. I think he is in a lot of pressure now. Yeah, no, I think he's in a lot of pressure now. Because now he's revealing a lot of the things that were not supposed to be said. Why is my chat so far high up? Hold on, let me lower this. Let me lower this. Chat box. There we go. Put that right there to center. Damn it. Transform center vertically. There we go. Bro said Modi lost. Zuck doesn't know the popularity of Modi. I mean, he has to know. But he's saying that Zuck lost the election, or that Modi lost the last election? That's kind of crazy. Where are you seeing this? Because I don't see that. How? How what? I'm so confused. Because he promoted every content related to anti-Modi? But now, okay, so once more, he said it on Joe Rogan. But this is what I'm talking about: is Zuck anti-Modi, or is it that the current administration, the Biden administration, anti-Modi because Modi and Trump are, they seem to get along really, really well, right? So I took that whole interview as on there was like all of the things that he were expressing were the expressions being forced upon to him from the deep state, the government. Probably he misspoke. I don't know if he misspoke, right? Like that's just when I listened to it, that's the vibe that I was getting. But I could be wrong, right? Like I need to go back and listen to this interview because I don't remember ever hearing the word Modi. You guys don't think me, the guy who's covering a lot of the Indian content, would have not reacted to Zuckerberg talking about India on Joe Rogan? You guys think I'm gonna miss up on that? He said India? Okay. Well, let's find out. If I missed that, I failed y'all. Wedding? Hold on, what? Okay, hold on. We're not gonna go wedding. We're gonna go Modi. All right, shit. Maybe you guys were not wrong. Hold on. What the hell?
Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg has landed in
What an awesome mustache. Holy shit.
an embarrassing controversy over fake news, a remark that he made in a podcast. Zuckerberg was discussing global election trends and said that many incumbent governments lost the elections in 2024, including India, because people face significant challenges during the pandemic, and this contributed to a general decline in trust toward incumbents worldwide. Well, as we of course know here in India,
Hold on. Many governments, including in India, lost due to COVID. What does this mean?
2024, the Modi
I don't think this is anti-Modi. Once more, I think this is the idea of like the World Economic Forum, the World Health Organization, getting a tremendous amount of power during this time, and governments lost a lot of power.
government was installed once again as Modi 3.0, albeit with a smaller margin. The parliamentary panel quickly highlighted the non-factual statement made by Zuckerberg has announced that a committee plans to summon Meta to reprimand it for this fake news that has not been clarified on by Zuckerberg. Dr. Nishikant Dubey, BJP MP, who chairs the Parliamentary Committee on Communications and IT, emphasized that misinformation can tarnish the image of a democratic nation, adding that the organization should apologize to both Indian Parliament and the people of India for this error.
Okay. I mean, I think I was wrong. I am man enough to admit that I think I was wrong. I need to re-listen to this.
And a lot of people in the U.S. focus on this as an American phenomenon, but I kind of think that the reaction to COVID probably caused a breakdown in trust in a lot of governments around the world. Because I mean, 2024 was a big election year around the world, and there are all these countries, India, just like a ton of countries that had elections, and the incumbents basically lost every single one. So there is some sort of a global phenomenon where the whether it was because of inflation, because of the
I don't know if we should get too I don't know if he's using India. I mean, he did bring up India specifically as an example, but I don't think he's saying that BGP did anything to manipulate this.
economic policies to deal with COVID or just how the governments dealt with COVID.
Yeah, for sure. Trump won by 3 million votes, right? Supposedly.
Seems to have had this effect that's global.
तो ये जो बयान है जुकरबर्ग का, ये अपने आप में अलार्मिंग है, क्योंकि पूरी दुनिया में ये माहौल चल रहा है.
Yikes.
कि जो सोशल मीडिया
Yeah, but was Rahul Gandhi his opposition? Because if so, then I can understand that. Because all that dude has to speak, and you're like, well, fucking, if we got to choose between him and Modi, I like what Modi's doing.
फॉर्म्स हैं.
But I agree. I think Zuck said this and probably said India, and then was like, shit, now we got to backtrack this. And once more, all the incumbents losing, that doesn't mean that like Modi did anything nefarious to win that election, right? Maybe in other countries globally for sure, but maybe not in India. I think saying this as a for sure statement is a little dangerous.
एक तो महिलाओं के बारे में उनका दुराग्रह है, महिलाओं के बारे में उल्टी पुल्टी बातें होती है, बच्चों के बारे में उल्टी पुल्टी बातें होती हैं. उसमें इस तरह का बयान ये दिखाता है कि वो भारत के लोकतंत्र पे वो इंटरफेयर कर रहा है और पूरी दुनिया को वो गलत जानकारी देके गुमराह कर रहे हैं कि हम जो है भारतीय जनता पार्टी या एनडीए लूज की है. हमने तय किया है कि हम मेटा के लोगों को बुलाएंगे, उनको माफी मांगनी पड़ेगी, और नहीं तो उनके ऊपर जो भी कानून सम्मत कार्रवाई होगी वो हमारी कमेटी रिकमेंड करेगी.
Aishwarya Paliwal, who tracks Parliament, is with me live. Aishwarya, this is sort of heating up to be a pretty high-profile kind of collision between Indian Parliament and Meta CEO Mark.
This is actually insane. I know you don't want me to do politics. It's not fun, but this is super important.
Zuckerberg. Frankly, I don't blame Indian Parliament for someone like Mark Zuckerberg to make a comment like this and not clarify on it. from the world's largest democracy, it's totally understandable that the government and parliament especially, wants action.
There's also some truth too to, like, if you are doing something a little nefarious and someone calls you out, you're like, yo, we need to silence that man. What the hell? He's popping the lid over here. Like, we got to keep an open mind. Politics, I feel like, has been something that as a youth, no one gave a crap about. But it's like you have to pay attention to politics right now because the past 8 years, our world has gone upside down because you haven't been paying attention to politics. You're like, no, this is not fun. I don't want to learn. I don't want to learn about the people who are going to be making the rules and governing over me. Like, wake the fuck up. Over the past 8 years, we have elected fucking losers to get into our positions of power and now completely F us. And no, it's not fun to sit here and learn about it. But if we don't, you're going to continuously get fucked. And they're not going to bring the P. Diddy lube. They're just going to, in their hand, if you're lucky, and go to town.
Well, they definitely want action. Shiv, a statement which has been made by none other than the CEO of Meta, the person who's owning most of the social media platforms at the moment. He's given out this information which basically said that the incumbent Indian government, which meant the BJP government, lost the 2024 elections. What's even more shocking is the fact that no clarification has come, neither from Mark Zuckerberg nor from Meta. The government very, very clearly saying that we have been saying for quite some time social media platforms need to make sure that the information that they give has to be correct, it has to be factual. And when Mark Zuckerberg himself was speaking about fact checkers,
the government should also abide by that own standard and put out only factual things, and they're not going to do that too. So I don't think we try to hold that same level of accountability to platforms, especially because random people are going to create accounts on those platforms and then say random stuff.
Then why is this statement not being clarified? Now, see, they have we are understanding the parliament is looking at calling in Mark Zuckerberg. That's something which I think at the moment will not be possible. Mark Zuckerberg flying down to India to answer to Indian parliament is something I don't believe will happen. But yes, Meta officials in India, that's something Shiv, that I believe will definitely happen. The government wants a clarification to go out because they believe if this kind of misinformation keeps on circulating, and what if something like this happens in the future also? If these kind of statements are made, then what will happen? So there has to be a comma, there has to be a full stop to these kind of statements.
It's just perplexing, and I'm sure you agree with me, Aishwarya, because India is a huge, huge market for Meta and all of its products.
For sure. Facebook, Instagram Reels, from what I understand, India loves its Instagram Reels.
WhatsApp, Instagram, and so much else. So it's a little perplexing why Mark Zuckerberg wouldn't just issue a clarification. He may have misspoke. It may have been an error,
like a fraudulent slip or something like that.
In the heat of a conversation. So what's the big deal in just saying, he misspoke and it was, it's regretted because obviously it's incorrect. Does he really want...
The big thing is if Mark Zuckerberg goes and says, I misspoke about this, then that opens the door for people to go about and start commenting, what about this? What about this? And what about this? And then now he's going to have to take time and say, this is where I misspoke and where I stood on business instead. I think the best thing for them and Meta is just kind of allow time to go and allow water to go underneath the bridge, because eventually it will. If you're picking up what I'm putting down, then please like the video, subscribe, and if you really like it, then share it with some of your friends. My goal here is to spread a positive message while sprinkling my 2 cents on big topics like American, Indian, and world geopolitics, and even small stuff like Twitch drama and online debacles. And if you want to see it live, come join me over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ActuallyElrod. That's where I'm going to do all my reactions, and after the reactions, that's where we get down a game. And if you're like, hey, I have a video that I want this dude to sprinkle his 2 cents on, then come over on my Discord and let me know and join the community there. And while we're at it, I have to say thank you to everybody who has made that Discord just so poppin'. I never thought I'd have a Discord that's so flowing. It's really cool to see. Shout out to you, Bobby, Omni, Demon, all of you who have been in there who are just super active. Logie, you're the man. Logie is the one who's like modding and helping run the server, so thank you, Logie. Lastly, I challenge you. I have a challenge for you. Make somebody laugh today. We all know there's enough hate and vitriol in the world. If energy is contagious like the flu, then let's spread and get everyone contagious with our positive energy, right? Not negative energy, because there's so much of that. And if we could just be a small little change in someone's day, then you never know. Maybe that's the thing that starts shifting this world to a happier, healthier, just better place. And with all of that said and done, Thank you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.